So in the game development and the desktop mouse and keyboard control, we have the GitHub repository as well as the demo. If we click here, we're gonna have this demo here. So this is what we are gonna be building. So if we can press, for example, right now I'm pressing the letter W in my keyboard, so I'm moving up. If I press the letter S, I'm moving down. If I press D, I'm moving forward. And if I press A, well, if I press A, I'm moving backwards. So that's pretty much what we have. And if I just pretty much deal with my cursor, I can move this spaceship around. So we have the X and Y coordinates. And here we click in the GitHub repository. This is the code that we are going to be working with, and I didn't write this code. This is the person who wrote this code, so all the credit to them. Okay, so this is just for educational purposes. Okay, so we are gonna go. Okay, so I have this code right here, and as you can see, we have pretty much an HTML file. I also have a JavaScript file, and then we have the phaser. This is the phaser framework that we have it inside of a folder named JS, and we have a folder named image, and we have two files inside. So we have the background as well as the player. So we can close this one, and let's just go into my any folder that you have, and I'm gonna name it Captain. So I'm gonna name it Captain Rogers, like that, Captain Rogers. So let's start working on it, and I'm just gonna right click and open in terminal. So then I'm just gonna type code space that so I can open it in Visual Studio Code. And let me see, so this is the code. So pretty much we are not gonna build right now. Let me see this exact game right now. The only difference is in this game we can shoot, but in this one we can just, for now, we can move the spaceship around, and we don't have the obstacles like the spaceship enemies or the asteroids. So we have that so far, and yeah, let's start closing some of this one. And okay, so what we can do is pretty much I'm gonna create, let me see, we're gonna create a file named index first of all. Okay, so we're gonna have the index.html, and okay, so in the root we're gonna have image folder as well as JS folder, like that. Let me see, and let's grab it from here. So if I click in the image folder, so let me see if it might take a while. No, it's fine. So we are gonna have the background, so I'm just gonna download it. Okay, and I also gonna download the player that png. Okay, so and now I'm gonna go into my downloads, and I already have these two files, so I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna go to my program.js, and it's gonna be this one, and I'm gonna go into my image folder, and I'm just gonna drop it there. Okay, so if I go into the image, I have these two files. Now what I'm gonna need is gonna be the JS folder. So I'm gonna go into the JS, and I'm gonna grab the phaser framework. So we're gonna use the lib-0.6.4 min.js. So I'm gonna just download it. So let me see this. Okay, so I already have it here. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna just go into my JS folder, and I'm just gonna drop it over there. Okay, so everything is fine so far. So now what else do we need? So we need, okay, we have the index, we have the JS, and I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do right now is, let's copy the entire HTML, but we are gonna move pretty much we're gonna move the JS to a different file. So again, I'm gonna have a, let me see, it's gonna be main.js. Okay, so I'm gonna go first of all into the JS folder, I mean into the index that HTML file, and I'm gonna, okay, so let me see, I'm gonna just cut it, this whole thing, so it's gonna be until the draw function. And let me see, it's gonna be, okay, so it's gonna be all of this stuff. And we can just let me see, okay, not okay, so we can just leave it like that for now. We're gonna type all this code, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is I just copy the HTML file, and now in this script I'm gonna have a source, and I'm gonna name it main.js, so like that. And just to make sure, I'm just gonna paste it. So let me see, I'm gonna paste it, and now I'm gonna go into my index.html file, and I'm gonna, okay, so it's working. So what I did is I press Alt+L+O, or you can just right click and then open with live server. So pretty much this is the whole project that we are going to be working on. I just copy and paste it, but now we're going to start typing the JavaScript code. So let's close this one, and let's, okay, it's going to be the main.js, so we're going to delete this whole thing. And okay, so let's just save it for now. Okay, so first of all, let's go into the HTML file. We have the, okay, so basic HTML, we have the head, we have the meta chart set to the UTF-8, we have the title, JavaScript, game control. So let's open it right now. So right now this is how it's looking. We don't have the spaceship, nothing, so we're just working with the background image. So we are working with this particular image, the background.png. okay, so we're gonna have the style element, and then we're gonna use the asterisk. So we're gonna select everything, and we're gonna open curly braces. We're gonna have the padding set to 0, the margin set to 0. Okay, so what else? Okay, so I can maybe move this one a little bit here. We're gonna have the padding. Okay, so we're also gonna have the canvas, and inside of the canvas we are gonna have the background set it to this color, so this particular color. So this is what we are seeing right here, but you can change it, maybe, okay, so you can change it to any color you want. And we are grabbing the image, the background.png again, the one that I show you here. And no repeat, display, black margin, 0 auto. Okay, so we close curly braces. Now we're gonna have the output, and now we are gonna pretty much close the style element. Okay, so that's the basic CSS that we have inside of this HTML file. So we're not gonna have a CSS file, so we're just gonna write it inside of the HTML file, and then we're gonna have a script. The source is gonna be the folder JS, and inside of the folder JS we are gonna have in this file the lib-0.6.4.min.js. so we have that. Okay, so now what else do we have? This is the head. Now the body, let me see, the head and the body. Inside of the body we're gonna have the canvas with an ID, my canvas, with a width 480, a height of 320. We close the canvas, and now we're gonna have a script, and we're gonna set it where the source is gonna be main.js. so that's pretty much it. And we have this main.js here that is empty for now. And finally we're gonna have a div element with an idea of output. So that's pretty much what we have for this basic HTML file. So let's start working on our main.js. And okay, so we are gonna go into the, okay, so we can go into the HTML file that they have it right here, and we are gonna start using for this we're gonna use the var statement declaration. So if you want you can read more. So the var statement declares functions scope or globally scope variables, optionally initializing each to a value. And one important thing is pretty much, let me see, description, let me okay, importantly, Let me see, what's this one? Yeah, and I script a variable declared using var is added as a non-configured property of the global object. This means this property descriptor cannot be changed and it cannot be deleted using delete. JavaScript has automatic memory management, and it would make no sense to be able to use the delete operator on a global variable. So this is global, pretty much. This is pretty much what we have so far. And yeah, let's start typing in. So we are gonna have, as you can see, we're gonna have some variable declarations. So we're gonna start with a var. So we're gonna be using the global scope variable, and we're gonna name it canvas, and we're gonna set it to something. So we're gonna set it to the document that get element by id. So the document that get element by id, and we are gonna have parentheses inside of the single quotes. We are gonna have him, and it's gonna be my canvas. So yeah, that is the reason that in canvas we have an id, and it's gonna be my canvas. So pretty straightforward. So let me see, my canvas, like that. Okay, so we have var canvas, and we're setting the document that get element by id, and we're passing my canvas, semicolon at the end. We are gonna have the var statement declaration ctx. Okay, and we are gonna set it to the canvas, to this variable that we have declared first, and we're gonna have the method get context. So it's gonna be get context, and we are gonna have the 2d, like that, semicolon at the end. And now we are gonna have the player height and the player width. So var statement declaration, okay, player height, we're gonna set it to 110, and the var statement declaration player width, okay, width, we're gonna set it to 92, and this is gonna, okay, player width camel notation. Let me see. Okay, so we have that so far. Let me see. Okay, so we have the canvas, the ctx, get context 2d, we have the player height as well as the player width. Okay, so now we're gonna have the player x and the player y, and we're gonna do some calculations. Okay, so we're gonna have var player x, and we're gonna set it to what? So we're gonna set it to the canvas that width minus the player width. So we're gonna open parentheses, and this we're gonna divide this parentheses by 2, and inside of this parentheses we're gonna have a subtraction. It's gonna be the canvas that width, okay, canvas that width minus the player width, so minus the player width. Okay, that's cool. And we're gonna have something similar for the player y. So let me see, we're gonna have the player y, we're gonna set the canvas height minus the, okay, let me see, minus the player height. Okay, so it's gonna be like that. This time it's camel notation, and we're not gonna divide it. Let's close this one as well as this terminal. Okay, so again we are dividing it by 2 as well. And okay, so we're not gonna see anything just yet because we still haven't even worked with the spacecraft picture or that png file. Okay, so let's close this one. Let's see what else do we have here. So now we're gonna have the right press and the left press. So we are gonna have the var statement, so it's gonna be the right camel notation. Let me see, yeah, camel notation press. We are gonna set it to this boolean false. And what else do we have here? We have the left press, so we have the left press again, setting it to false as well. We are gonna have the var declaration, we're gonna set it to the up press, and we are gonna set it to Press, we're gonna set it to false as well. Okay, semicolon at the end. Press, then we are gonna have the var statement declaration name. Let me see. So we have right, left press, up press, false, and now we need the down press, so it's gonna be down press, and we are gonna set it to false as well, to this boolean. So we have down press, up press, left press. Okay, now yeah, everything is fine up to this point. Now we're gonna have the var statement declaration name img, and we are gonna set it to new, to the keyword new image. So image, like that. So the first letter is capitalized. Okay, so we're gonna open parentheses, and now we're gonna use this variable that we just created. So there's gonna be the img dot, and the method that we are gonna be using is the source. Okay, so img dot source, and we are gonna set it to, okay, so it's gonna be pretty much the img is gonna be player. Okay, it's gonna be player img player dot png. Let me see. Yeah, that's fine. So we have that so far. Let me see, we need to save it. Okay, so nothing's happening yet, but let's keep working on it. Okay, let's go back. We have this, let me see. Okay, so we have the down press, we have the image. Okay, then we have the img, the source, we are setting it to the player that png. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep moving. Now we're gonna have in the, let me see, everything is fine. Yeah, we're gonna have now the keyboard. So we are gonna have in the document that add event listener. So it's gonna be the document that add event listener, and we're gonna be listen for the keyword, for the key down. So key down, so this is going to be a stream, and also we're going to use the key down handler. So it's going to be key down handler. Okay, and we have key down handler, and then the boolean false. So that is the third parameter inside of this. Okay, so now what else do we have? Let's copy and paste this one, and here we're gonna have in the add event listener, and we're gonna have the key app. So we're gonna have in the key app, we're gonna have the key app handler. So it's gonna be key app handler, and we're gonna set it to false. That's fine. Let me see what else we have here. Let's save it for now. Okay, so we have the document that add event listener, as well as the document that event listener key up and key down. Okay, key up handlers, okay, more notation. Yeah, everything is fine up to this point. Now we're gonna have the function. Okay, so we are gonna have a function name. Okay, the name is gonna be key down handler, so it's gonna be the key down handler, and we are gonna pass in the object handler, the letter E. So this is the object handler, and we're gonna open curly braces, and now we are gonna have okay, we have the function name key down handler. We're passing the object handler as a parameter, and inside of the curly braces we're gonna have the if statement. So we're gonna have some conditions. If those conditions are met, we're gonna do something. If they are not met, we are gonna be doing something else. So if code, inside double quotes, if code, and the object handler, so NE, so if that is true, then we're gonna switch. So we're gonna switch to the object handler, Okay, so e.code, object handler dot code. Okay, and now we're gonna open curly braces, and we are gonna have let me see, we are gonna have in case, so we're gonna have in case, and the case is gonna be undefined, so okay, so it's gonna be unidentified, so let me see, unidentified, so it's gonna be an unidentified, like that, semicolon at the end, no, colon at the end, because after that we are gonna have to the next line, we are gonna have a break, okay, and then we're gonna have the semicolon. Okay, that's fine. What else? So we're gonna have another case, okay, and this case is gonna be arrow right, so it's gonna be the arrow right, again colon. We're gonna have another case, let me see, we are gonna have another case that is just gonna be right inside of the double quotes, colon, and this is gonna be, well, they are giving us these, and the keywords we're gonna press in IE has to be less than or greater than 9, and then we have FF is less than or equal to 36, so we have that to the right. And now we're gonna have another case, we are gonna have in the key D, so it's gonna be the key D. Okay, so let me see, well, it has to be, this one has to be, the key has to be with uppercase letters, so make sure that, so let me see, that is the thing. Now the key down and key up is not, yeah, you can leave it like that. Okay, so let me see, let's save that for now, nothing has changed yet. Okay, so we have in the key D, so we have key D colon, okay, and now we are gonna have, let me see, colon, okay, and we are gonna have in the right press, so we're gonna have in the right, okay, I have it here, so we're gonna have in the right press, and we are gonna set it to true, semicolon at the end, and again we're just gonna return it, so return semicolon at the end, and now we're gonna have in the case arrow left, so we're gonna have in the case arrow left, so the first one is with capital letter and then camel notation, so okay, now colon at the end. Okay, so we have another case, and this stuff is gonna be left, like that, so it's gonna be left colon, and there just we have some comments here. So again, we're gonna have another case, so we're gonna have another case, double quotes, inside of the double quotes we're gonna have in the key up, so the first letter is in capital key A, okay, colon, and to the next line we are gonna have left press, so it's gonna be left press, and okay, so we are gonna set it to this boolean true. Okay, we move to the next line, and we are just gonna return it, so we're gonna just return semicolon at the end. Okay, now we're gonna have the case arrow up, so we're gonna have the case is gonna be arrow up colon, and let me see, so we have the arrow up colon, we're gonna have another case, and it's gonna be just up, so like that. Let me see, oops, it has to be colon, not semicolon, so up, we move to the next line, and we're gonna have in the case double quotes, and inside of the double quotes is gonna be key W, so it's gonna be key W colon. Then we're gonna have press. Okay, so we're gonna have the has to be up press. Okay, and we are gonna set it to this boolean true. Okay, so we're fine. So we have the key W, then we have up press, we're setting it to true, and then return. So okay, we have that. Then we're gonna have another case, and we are gonna name it, so we're almost done with the cases. Okay, it's gonna be arrow down, so it's gonna be arrow down again, so it's gonna be column to the next line. We are just gonna have in case, and it's gonna be just down. Okay, so calling again, and okay, so we're gonna have in the case okay, single quotes, and we are gonna have in key uppercase letter A, so calling, and then we are gonna have in down press, so it's gonna be down press, and we are gonna set it to true, so that's fine. And finally we're just gonna return it, so returned, and then we are gonna have in default, okay, calling, and then we're just gonna return it, so semicolon at the end. Okay, that's fine. Oops, what I did, okay, so I needed to save it here. Let me see, in the return I have to put semicolon. Let me just double check real quick. Return double. Okay, that's fine. So we are here, so we leave to let me see, this curly brace belongs to the if statement. Okay, so outside of that if statement we are gonna have another if statement, so this is our second if statement, line 60 something. Okay, yeah, now we are gonna have in the if statement, so if, okay, so if, and then we have the block code, so in the if we're gonna have e, okay, if e that key code, let me see, key code is assigned to 39. Okay, then we are gonna have in the right press, we're gonna have in the right press set to the boolean true, semicolon at the end. Okay, that's fine, nothing has changed yet. Okay, so we have that. Now else if, so okay, if the object handler that key code is set to 39, then we're gonna have the right press set to the boolean true. Let me see, we're gonna go below that, we're gonna have else if we're gonna open parentheses, and inside of the parentheses we're gonna have the e that key code, so we're gonna have the e that key code, and we're gonna set it to 37, open curly braces, and we are gonna have in the left press, and we are gonna set it to true, semicolon at the end. Okay, so else if left press true. Okay, now let me see, so okay, let's move here. So we have if, else if, we're gonna have another if statement as well as another else if, so we're gonna have another, we can just move here, so we're gonna have if, and we're gonna open curly braces, so inside of the parentheses of the if statement we're gonna have if the object handler that key code is assigned to 40. Okay, so then the down press, so the down press is gonna be set to false, to the boolean false. Down, oh no, it has to be set to the boolean true. Okay, so else, okay, else if, we're gonna open parentheses and curly braces, else if the object handler that object handler that key code is assigned to not equal, assign is assigned to 38. Then we're gonna do something, so the appress, is gonna be set to the boolean true. Okay, let me see. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we can save it for now. And this curly brace belongs to the function key down handler, so we are done with this function key down handler. So we're gonna have, we're gonna have now the function key up handler. Okay, so now we're gonna have the function, we're gonna name a function key. Okay, so key up handler, and pretty much like that, open parentheses and then open curly braces, and pretty much we're gonna do something very similar. So let me see if I can just we're gonna pass in the object handler e. Okay, let me see if it's pretty much the same. So we're gonna use the switch, break, arrow. Okay, so we have this function here. Let's close this one as well, that one. Yeah. Okay, so we have the function name key up handler. Okay, inside of the curly braces, well, we are gonna have in the if statement. So in the if statement, we're gonna open parentheses, and again, it's pretty similar. So, but let's just type it in. So inside of the parentheses, we're gonna open double quotes, and we're gonna pass in the code and the object handler. So no, I mean just e. And inside of the curly braces, we're gonna switches, we're gonna have cases and breaks. Okay, and when you have breaks, we haven't dealt with breaks, but let's just, okay, so after the break we put a semicolon. So okay, so here we're gonna have a switch. Okay, switch, we're gonna open parentheses, open curly braces, we're gonna have a e dot code like this. We're gonna open inside of the curly braces, we're gonna have in the let me see these cases. So it's gonna be this case, and we're gonna open double quotes. It's gonna be let me see, unidentified. We're gonna put colon, and to the next line we're just gonna break it, so semicolon instead of colon. Now we're gonna have another break, another case, and inside the double quotes we are gonna have in the arrow right, so like that, colon at the end. Let me see, break, arrow right, key D, press down. Let me see, right press false, 37, 40, 38, yeah, 38, 40, 37. So it's gonna be let me see, 38, 40, 37. Okay, so that is pretty much the whole thing. It's pretty much similar. So let's just let's just copy this whole thing instead of typing it in, since we are almost, it's gonna be the same. So we're just gonna copy this stuff instead of typing it. Okay, so we're gonna have it like this. So we're gonna have this function key up handler, and again we're gonna have switches, cases, break, and okay, so now we're gonna have also the if statement declaration. So if this is true, we're gonna do something. If this is not true, we're gonna have something else. So, and that something else is this one. Okay, so it's pretty much similar. Okay, so up press is true. Well, let me see. And return false, key down, arrow down, case. Case is gonna be S, and this one is gonna be S. So everything down press set to true, and here we are having down press set to false. That's pretty much up press we are setting it to false in this case, and up press is being set to true in this case. So left press and right press are being set to true in the key down handler, and now right press and left press is being set to false in this one. And now in the if statement declaration, right press and left press are being set to false, and this one is being set to true, and down press and up press and the key down handler are being set to true, and this one, they're down press and up press, they're gonna be set to false. So that's pretty much what we have so far. Okay, so there's not much code here left, but let's keep moving. So now we're gonna be in the so now we're gonna have the mouse. So